In a world where everyone is looking for your money up front, doesn't it just make sense to check out a podcast that's looking to give you something for free? Like the music for your content and free music for your film and videos? Look no further. It's the Tim Kulig Free Music Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to the Tim Kulig Free Music Podcast and the 10th episode. Into double digits already. Fantastic. This week, we're going to be focused on an interview I did while I was up in Wisconsin in September with Peggy Eserkaln of Suburban Coop. Now, Suburban Coop is an endeavor sponsored by Incompetech. Kevin MacLeod, the famous internet composer. I do consulting work with him and help him with his various projects. One of them being this, Suburban Coop, that's headed up by Peggy Eserkaln. And it's all about backyard sustainability, chicken raising, chicken coop tending, if you will. But it's going to expand beyond that. Right now, we started off with a Twitch stream with this, and now it's evolving into a YouTube channel with live streams. We're going to have some shows on there. And it's also going to evolve into a bunch of other things like probably beekeeping and backyard sustainability and, water management and recapture from runoff, and all sorts of things that are really all about being, sustainable in a suburban environment. So with that, let's just get right into it, and let me introduce you to Peggy Eserkaln.
Can we just take a moment? I live here.
You do live here, and it's beautiful.
There's
live so here. How many chickens?
Well, 7, but we're not saying where I live then, right?
No.
Okay.
We're not saying anything. Not saying anything at all. Not saying anything at all.
We're not saying anything.
All right, well, hey, backyard chickens and sustainable living are becoming increasingly popular pursuits for people looking to become more self-sufficient. Today on the show, we have a budding content creator who is sharing their journey raising chickens and transforming their suburban backyard into an urban homestead. Welcome, Peggy Eserkaln.
Well, thank you, Tim Kulig. Are we going to be this formal? Because I feel like I should not have wine. I should have a tea. Speaking of which, would you like a beverage?
I am fine at the moment. I think I wet my whistle with this coffee.
Okay.
Which is perfect. And very excited to be here. Very excited to contribute to Suburban Hobbit today.
I'm sorry. Can we pause there? Can you please tell your audience how you did contribute to Suburban Hobbit today?
Absolutely. Today, I spent some time cleaning some gutters out so that we could prep for some rain barrels, which I'm thinking 3 will probably do it. 3 will probably do it.
I'm sorry, I'm going to pause you there because I'm just going to let our listening audience know that Tim was invited up to a vacation for Suburban Coop.
Right.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going to say that again. A vacation. A hangout and a vacation. And Tim, unfortunately for him, mentioned, let's say a working vacation.
Yes.
Correct? A working vacation. And Tim showed up at my Suburban Coop homestead and was like, oh, we're going to put a rain barrel there. We're going to put a rain barrel here. I'm like, that is all great, but I haven't cleaned my gutters in 2 years, which was on my list because we have beautiful weather for a week.
Yeah.
I said, okay, so that's fine. I had other things to tend to and left into the house for 10, 15 minutes, upon which time I come back out from the house.
Right.
To find Tim on a ladder with a giant leaf blower. Oh, wait, I'm going to pause. How about you talk about your fantastic use of equipment?
Okay. So, a 10-foot ladder. I think that's a 10, maybe 8 foot. That's an 8-foot ladder.
50-year-old. That was my father's ladder when he was a construction guy, and he's been dead for 5 years, and he was 80. So.
Well, that reinforces the idea, one of the ideas of Suburban Coop, which is sustainable living, but with sustainable things, like reusing things.
Absolutely.
I think that's a great segue into my first question for you, which is, what inspired you to do this? I mean, what is it about focusing on chickens and sustainable living that just appealed to you so much?
Well, I believe I can probably say that it all started in my childhood. I was one of those kids that from the moment I woke up in the morning, I could not wait to be outside. Oddly enough, because of my personality, I ended up in a career in education, which put me inside. And I say oddly enough because my parents would have said that I was going to be on a horse ranch in Colorado. They always said that. They're like, how you ended up not on a horse ranch in somewhere.
Well, I don't think you're zoned for horses here, right?
Well, not yet. Who needs to be zoned for anything? Whatever. Here's a rule. You bend or break it. So I have always been deeply vested in Earth and how humanity uses it. So that would be it. And
when did you first get the chickens here?
I
know we've acquired new ones recently,
right?
And the number is going to remain anonymous.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Suburban Coop needs to pause for chores.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We have a wandering dog.
And
the cat.
Yes, who is about a half hour late for supper.
We're going to pause our recording, and we're back.
Dog and cat are fed.
Dog and cat are fed. So we were talking about when you first got your chickens.
When I first got them, we had joked about it from the moment I moved here because A, I legally could have some, and B, that's just kind of on brand for me.
Yeah.
So I had spoken to people about the fact that I was interested, and then I found out that someone, a friend of mine, had 3 young adult chickens.
Okay.
And I liked that idea versus raising chicks. So got them sort of out of fuck around and find out.
So they were adults. They couldn't take care of them anymore.
Or they're just said when people have chickens, they tend to acquire more chickens. That's a very chicken culture joke. Is that you can never have enough chickens.
Kind of like a cat lady,
same exact thing. Yes.
I couldn't get rid of this litter, so
right.
Now I have 15 as opposed to 8.
Very, very much. My most recent funny meme I saw was Titanic. There's not room on the board or the boat, whatever, for the floating board for you, Jack, because she had so many. Kate Winslet had all the chickens around her.
Yeah.
So anyway, someone had an overload and was willing to give me the chickens for $3 a piece.
Oh.
So I bought 3 adult chickens for $3 a piece.
Jeez, that's cheaper than buying at the store. I mean, that sounds macabre,
but that's interesting because when you talk about that, they are much more expensive to maintain than people think.
Yeah.
It's the coop and the protection that the coop needs to provide.
But what does that run? What does that knock you back, or what can it like? What's the range on that?
If you Google it, I believe they will say the average startup cost is $2,000.
Okay.
I would agree with that. I would actually bump it more up to closer to possibly 3 with your screw ups.
Right.
With your learning curve.
Yeah, because you've got, I'm sitting back here. Obviously, there's no visual, but there's a starter coop that you have here.
Actually, the starter coop.
Oh, that's the one around the back?
Yes.
The one that's in there? Oh, that's right, because that one came off of Amazon.
That one came off of Mayfair.
That's right. You did say that earlier today.
Wayfair.
Whatever.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that one I researched the snot out of, and now it's gonna elude me.
But just for a point of reference, since this is an audio, the first one is a whopping maybe 6 square feet
with no protection.
No protection whatsoever. The next one jumps up to about double that, with some, I'd say, penthouses in it.
And
right?
actually, Very great coop if you're going to keep 2 to 3 chickens.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, it actually has like a flap on the top.
I believe that one came from My Pet Chicken.
Okay. But you can literally open up a flap on the top and grab the eggs that they would have roosted in here and actually laid them on the top.
And they're protected, and it has a run, and it has a coop.
And now this one, this big encasement, which looks like basically looks like a greenhouse.
Yeah, it's about the size of a.
It's got
walk-in greenhouse.
2 rooms. It's got a back room for laying eggs and a front room for them to scratch and eat and drink their water and jump up on higher things. So it's expanded. It's expanded. When did you get the first 3? How long ago was that?
The OGs were what year did the pandemic start?
2020.
The OGs then were 21.
Okay.
We were kind of just outskirts. I think maybe a vaccine had just come out ish.
Okay. So you're about 2.5 years into it at this point.
This is my third summer with them. That would make sense, right? Yeah. That would make sense. This is my 3rd summer with them. Yeah.
What have you enjoyed the most about it so far?
The mental health benefit.
Really?
Hands down.
Yeah. What do they do? Like, what's the thing that surprised you the most about interacting with them? It's probably going to make me not want to eat chicken ever again, but
I'm there. I only buy chickens that have been raised and processed humanely.
Okay.
They have individual personalities, which sounds so stupid when you say it out loud, because I have had animals my entire life. I have had many animals, many different animals, and every animal that you get, you're like, oh yeah, they have a personality. For some reason, people think, chickens,
right,
or what, maybe bird, whatever. Absolutely not. 100% can tell their personalities apart.
It's kind of like people that they're not pet owners, right? Typically, that would say this, or maybe they are and they just don't care. But there's people that'll look at like a dog or a cat and be like, yeah, they're great. They're this pet in the house, but they do their own thing and blah, blah, blah. That couldn't be further from the truth with my cat. My cat is a lunatic. You know what I mean? He'll chase me up the stairs and attack my legs and then sit there and like stalk me, and he'll just curl up next to me while I'm watching TV or playing video games or something. He's like my little buddy. Yeah. He just follows me all around the house. I'm writing music or whatever. Like, he'll just hang out. Do that.
I joke, but I don't, that chickens are the best menopausal woman pet you could have. They wake up at the crack ass of dawn, because we don't sleep once we get there, so we're up at 5. They are hilariously competitive about food stuff, so even though I am not a shopper, I have experienced Black Friday once in my life.
Okay.
Which is one too many times for me personally. But chickens are always like Black Friday morning. Meaning, if one chicken is poking around and finds something good, the other chickens will immediately bolt to that spot and fight over whatever it is.
It's like
even if it's shit. Like,
really?
even if the chicken hasn't figured out yet that it's a crappy find.
Yeah.
Because they'll explore.
Right.
And so they'll pick up something, and if not, they are not allowed to explore it without being harassed, they will explore it and then abandon it.
Well, that has a lot to do with the pecking order, right?
Oh, not necessarily.
No?
When you find something good, for example, the first time that I gave them live minnows was very funny, because the OG3, I believe it was Jason Bourne, figured out how to capture it.
You got to stop right there.
Sorry.
Because the audience needs to know about the specific naming nomenclature that you use.
Yes.
With your animals.
When we found out that we were getting chickens, we had about a 2-week window before we got them.
Right.
And at the time, my daughter was 17 and working at Great Harvest Bread Company. And I was still working, not retired. And we decided that we were going to have a naming party. Whoever could come up with the stupidest, most outlandish, dumbest name. So she went to work, I went to work, and we started asking.
Yeah.
We only thought we were coming home with 2 chickens. So the original contest was 2 chicken names. Okay. So my friend thought it would really be funny to name one of the chickens after a chicken dish.
Right.
So the OG first one was Kung Pao.
Okay.
Okay. And then my daughter and her work buddies came up with, oh my gosh, now what? Oh, Socket Wrench. They kind of won that round because that was pretty funny. So we went out to go get our 2 chickens, and it just so happened that where there was miscommunication, there was actually 3. No problem, we'll take 3.
Yeah.
But we hadn't had a name. So when we got here to release them, to unbox the chickens, as she picked up the 3rd one, I said, we don't have a name. Who is this? And for whatever reason, her brain went Jason Bourne. And threw the chicken into the run. And that became the theme. So we now have a theme for each generation.
Right. And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
I mean, Jeff Goldblum runs the roost right now.
Jeff Goldblum is definitely running the roost.
Yeah. Right. Understanding, audience, that these are all females, which makes it even funnier.
Exactly. Thank you.
It makes it so much more funny.
Yes.
So much more funny. So you've recently started a Twitch stream that is starting to get some traction, and that's exciting because now what's going to happen next? What are we going to do next?
We are apparently going to camera up or tech up, whatever you want to say, the coop.
Yeah.
So that you can view the shenanigans of the coop.
Right.
As well as interact with the shenanigans of the coop and cause things to happen in the coop.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. I know that the idea is that there's going to be a couple of different camera angles. Hopefully one at the ground level where they're scratching and doing their thing. Another one in Eggland.
Okay, so I'm going to educate you, Tim.
Yeah.
The coop is where they lay eggs.
Okay.
The run is where they scratch and exercise.
Well, see, this is why I'm interviewing you, because I need to know the proper
Again,
terminology.
I have to do the pause. My flock of crows are in the trees, and I need to get them some peanuts.
Okay. All right. We're back.
Back in the New York.
Back. We were talking about Suburban Hobbit. There they are. And at any given moment, the wildlife in the background will probably interject.
Correct.
Assuming it breaches this microphone setup we have. We were talking about the Twitch stream and that new endeavor to encapsulate the day-to-day activity of the girls. And what do you anticipate? What are some of the things that you anticipate? You anticipate incorporating some music into it at some point, maybe? Like having some kind of like thing in the background? Like we could do that.
Oh, sure.
We could,
that's not okay.
We could do
yes,
that.
And
we can do like, especially like the ones where we decide we're going to do some kind of interaction. We could literally be like, look, it's the feeding hour, and we could take one of Kevin's tracks and throw it in the background.
Yeah.
And literally.
Oh yeah, I dance often. I recently retired, and I dance every day in front of and with the chickens, and yeah, I'm just happy dancing.
Yeah.
It's not pretty, nor choreographed, nor appropriate. No, it's appropriate. It's just stupid. No.
I think we did an impromptu Q&A once, but do you think that's something you're going to incorporate into the regular Twitch stream, where you do like
what?
Maybe once or twice a month you do kind of like a Q&A type of thing with people?
I like chicken catch a story the best, by the way.
Chicken catch a story works for me a lot.
We were attempting to name the idea or the event of me hanging out and answering chicken facts or having a casual conversation and people being able to listen in and incorporating about chicken life and things like that. And we were trying to come up with a fun little name. And I think Chicken Catch a Story is
Chicken
funny.
Catch a Story sounds like that'll definitely stick.
All right, I have to tie him up again.
And if people know that's like a place you can go on a Thursday night or something,
right?
For an hour or two.
We had a blast when we did it last time.
Oh God, yeah, it was a lot of fun. What plans do you have for expansion? I mean, I know that you and I know this, but to say it out loud.
Well, we already talked about teching up the coop.
Yeah.
Learning as I go, just about anything I can do to the property to support it lasting a day, a year, 100 years longer. Beekeeping.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just suck snot on your stream. I could do it again. You can edit it out. There. I gotta give Tim
we are in the elements.
I have to give Tim some work to do. I can't make this easy.
I might keep it. Yeah, most of my shows are scripted, so this is the fun stuff.
Yeah? Am I messing with you?
Those are fun too.
Am I messing with you? Hope I am. I love attempting and succeeding to embrace the technology that is out there for me to do this. I grew up before technology, so the idea of even streaming a chicken coop is hilarious to myself and my friends. And even any sort of technology, Ivan has those little sensors that can sense the amount of water, moisture in a plant.
Yeah.
Game changers for how you start a garden, how you grow a garden.
Right.
You know? The problem is I just have to remember to actually check them. Like, oh, I have this, and he put it in my seedlings, and now I have to remember that I don't need to go check them. I can do that from afar.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I don't know. I want to create a space where people come and enjoy a moment, a minute, an hour of happiness because they're in a green space.
Yeah.
A diverse green space.
Do you think you'll complement the Twitch stream with some articles and some writings on, say, like Facebook or like an Instagram page or something to
Sure.
You know?
I'll say yes, just because even though I pride myself on being innovative and creative and forward thinking, when it comes to technology, I will be the first one to admit I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If I do it just for me, that's great.
Yeah.
And that's enough. If technology is going to offer it to other people, okay.
Yeah.
But that's not my end game, or not even my priority.
What's interesting about some of those different sites is that I can talk to you from experience. Social media can be very overwhelming. You know, there's 4 or 5 sites I regularly upload my music to in order to get it into the hands of the people that want to use it. In addition to that, I have to update Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, YouTube in general. And in addition to all of that, I literally have to make the content too. I have to make the content. I have to make the music. I have to make time for that. So it's a lot. It's a lot to encapsulate all that. However, what I do find is that your audience has different people, right? Your audience has people that love to drop in and watch a live stream and catch a little bit of the thing. And that may be all they're interested in. They may want to stop by, see your chickens, and support you.
Chicken catch a story.
Chicken catch a story. However, we may talk about something during Chicken Catch a Story, or may see something during the live stream that they literally want to come to the Suburban Coop channel on Facebook or Instagram and just be like, oh, okay, how do I do this? And then we have literally a section that says, oh, how do you get started? Well, here's a super low budget supply list to a Taj Mahal supply list.
Absolutely.
And a couple in between. That kind of value, after you've gone through something like this, is remarkably heavy in value to people that are interested. If somebody's watching it and they're interested and they want to get involved with it, having that archived is not just some pie in the sky thing that people are like, you're like, I don't know who's going to look at this. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised who would gravitate towards it.
I can tell you that is also my greatest fear.
Okay.
I spent, I'll go with 40 years, being a caregiver of people, an educator, and being beholden to helping others, and also at times having to care about things that don't matter to me. That sounds horrible. It's not.
Yeah.
I loved it, but I recently retired from it.
Yeah.
And so
you kind of parallel that a little bit.
I got to figure that out, because I seriously want to do me for me on my time, under my own rules and my own schedule.
Yeah.
And if anyone who knows me out there listens to this, they are shaking their head with a hard yes. Me being allowed to do all of the things that I want to do without anyone dictating what I do next.
Right.
And
but honestly, that situation, that should flow exactly that way. So if you decide you're like, oh boy,
the babies are being bullied by the grown-ups. Pecking. That was pecking order.
Yeah. We're recently.
I should say the teenagers are being bullied.
Yeah.
Because they are now teenagers.
Recent introduction.
Correct.
Of newbies to established group.
And there is why we have the garden. The garden.
Oh boy, she's not having that.
The grown-ups are ganging up on the baby.
Oh.
Until the baby, the teenager, gets to a spot that they are okay with the babies being. Territory.
You know, I'm this many years old when I discovered the term, or not discovered, but understood the term pecking order at this level. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a real thing. These animals really kind of get in line based on who's in charge, and then who's second in charge and third in charge and whatever.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
To let them figure it out.
Yeah. It's this like social order. You know, it makes you wonder, back to the thing before, like about personalities. How is that not a personality, like a thing? You know what I mean?
With Gen 3, Shawshank will be the leader. Shawshank will challenge Jeff Goldblum at some point in time, and I don't know who will win.
Yeah.
But it keeps everybody safe, too, because I can see in Jeff Goldblum that she's paying more attention while they're out and about or anywhere.
Right.
She is constantly kind of keeping vigilance a little bit more than the rest of them, because that's her job if she is the top of the pecking order, and you're going to listen to me when I say we are going back in the coop right now, or you are going to go in that corner.
Right.
So there's definitely, and that's kind of funny. I grew up with the cartoons and on TV, and it's, hey Spike, what are we going to do now, Spike?
Yeah.
Hey Spike, yes?
Yeah, I remember that one.
And then the bulldog, right? What was the bulldog's? Oh, Spike, but then...
Oh, who's the little one? It was a little, like a chihuahua almost, or something, right?
These guys, and that's all I think about is that Jeff Goldblum is Spike. Hey Spike, what are we going to do, Spike? What are we going to do today, Spike? That is exactly how they behave, and it's really funny. But then it's also funny to watch, kind of, I guess, for lack of a better way to compare it, is sibling order. So on a given day, Kitchenette will have second rank, and General Tso will have third rank. And then they wake up the next day, and General Tso has second rank, and Kitchenette has third. So now incorporating, I don't know what will happen. I don't know if you'll be able to identify that all the way down.
Or if it's just going to take a long time.
I don't know. Or if they're, because the grown-ups are only 3 in flock, that it's really easy to see 1, 2, 3. once you get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll be able to distinguish that exact order.
Yeah, even these guys challenge each other.
Oh,
We're
for
looking
sure.
at the 3 adults right now, and they'll help groom each other, but every once in a while I see one of them jab at the other one, kind of just keeping them in line. It's kind of interesting. It's really interesting. So what's the Twitch stream? It's Suburban Coop, Wisconsin.
You tell me. You guys set it up.
I'm staring at it right
Nosies.
now. I'm staring at it right now.
Not my problem.
And listen, by extension, Incompetech and or other members of the crew can always help with the writing. So I think that may be something we look at moving forward. That if there's articles that need to be written and that's not your cup of tea.
Oh, right. Journaling, actually, absolutely not. Other way. Meaning, for a long time, I was posting on Facebook every day, #chicken butt.
Yeah. You should keep doing that.
And that was my best friend's suggestion. For whatever reason, she thinks chicken butt is hilarious.
They are hilarious.
No, the words chicken butt.
Yeah, but these guys are constantly showing their butts off at you.
Right, so I just posted some personal positive about a day, every day, with #chicken butt.
Yeah.
That was the OG. That was the OGs. And it fell by the wayside for the end of my career because I was doubling down on directing and teaching and all that stuff. And I really should revive it.
Yeah.
That surprised me. That surprised me is how many people who I didn't expect to reach out to me and say, that was really cool. And I looked forward to it.
Yeah. It's surprising. It's surprising in social media when you try hard, this public gets pushback, right? Because you're trying to do something, like you saw something that's cool, or you saw something else that looks like it would trend right, or this or that, and then you do that and you don't see any response to it. It's like, oh, okay. But then you're just real. You're just doing something that means something to you. And people just they see that reality. They see the real you.
Authenticity.
Basically. Yeah.
So I am a photographer at base as well, and so it's really hard to take a photo of these guys, by the way. A good photo. Those of you who are out there and you have like these fantastic Instagram pictures of chickens, feed me some frickin' tips, because getting these guys to actually have a good picture is extremely hard.
Yeah.
And so I get a picture that I liked, and I look at the picture, and I would let the photo dictate my post for the day.
Okay.
So, for example, well, if I had my phone somewhere, I can tell you today's history, the historical one. So it was like a picture of all 3 of them in line.
Mm-hmm.
I make some posts like, remember to line up behind the people who inspire you.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. Or if it was one of them facing one way and one of them facing the other way.
Yeah.
I would post something like, remember, we don't always have to look the same way. Look at things in the same way to still be a part of a flock.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. Well, it's like the hobby is now starting to teach life lessons, and you're seeing the parallels.
And this happens
Yeah.
that is exactly.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. I had no idea, the absolute depth of chicken culture, chicken ownership culture.
Yeah.
I got chickens, and chicken paraphernalia showed up at my house. Chicken, I never had to say that word. Kitsch, whatever. Whatever.
Oh, tchotchke?
Tchotchke, yes, thank you. Let's go to Chachi from Happy Days. People started giving me chicken gifts.
Right.
To the point where I put one in my truck because I don't know where else to put them.
Yeah, I've run out of space for chicken gifts. By the way, hey, everyone out there listening, Suburban Coop, Wisconsin has plenty of chicken gifts for the moment. Well, let's see, for the moment, because, hey, something may come along.
Right.
You may get a
Well, I recently renovated my porch, which we call the veranda because it's just more fun to call it the veranda.
Oh, the veranda.
And we have yet to add decor.
Mm-hmm.
And the initial idea was it's just going to be everything everyone's given me. However, that slightly changed when one of my very best friends from scratch, she built me the chicken coop that you are now speaking about.
Okay.
And I wish we were visual because the amazing craftsmanship of this chicken coop is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so when she did that, she took many of my chicken placards and hung them all over on.
Yeah, because there's little catchphrases on here that are great. Let's see. I gotta walk around the coop while we're talking and capture some of it. Let's see. The chicken.
Yes, the chicken. Read that one.
The chicken tuck-in service every night at dusk, and that's a real thing. They actually will come in here and march into their sleeping arrangement.
Back to the menopausal women's perfect pet. You all take yourselves to bed at night?
Yeah. Friends and hens welcome. Just winging it here. Love it. Sometimes you just got to cluck it and walk away. Absolutely love it. Oh, and they're making little noises right now. Let's see if you can hear them. Oh, there you are. What do you got going on? What's up?
Okay, 2 years ago today, I posted a picture of a fluffy butt, and I said, seeing the back end of something might very well mean you've finished a project.
It's a great motivational life lesson.
3 years ago, I had a cat named Tinker who was a ridiculous personality cat. She dealt with us when she felt like it, but she walked into my shot of the chickens, and so she photobombed it.
Right.
And my post 3 years ago was #chickenbutt. Tuesday timing. Pay attention to those around you who may be seeking it.
That's awesome. I think those are great, and I think if people gravitate towards them and it resonates with them, you should keep doing it. For sure.
I should renew doing it because I've fallen off the chicken butt wagon.
We have a dog wrapping himself around. Oh boy!
Now that's the pecking order going on between the babies.
Oh, the babies have something to say to
so
one another.
So remember, those who have been abused will abuse.
Yep. Yeah, they learn down the line.
So that's Shawshank. She's the head of the new.
Can't even keep a straight face anymore. Because these names are great. These names are fantastic. Because...
Wait, Shawshank?
Yeah.
Because as a chick, she escaped more than any other chick or chicken I've ever had.
Yeah. I mean, you won't forget the names.
No.
All the names have a real world, honest usage for the most part. I mean...
They were thematic until we started upping the number we were replacing them with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Shawshank's a new category.
Is a new category and a welcome one because I think that name is fantastic.
If you sit out here, Tim,
yeah,
for another hour,
yeah,
you will watch them go to bed, and it's very fun to watch them go to bed.
They just kind of march.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
It will not be dark. It's not like, oh, the sun went down.
Right.
It is dark. I will go. They have an innate sense of sunset.
Like everything. And just, this time for me to rest now. And
they will all get kind of, I don't want to say anxious, but they will get very determined to get someplace to roost.
Okay.
I love it.
And it's
on
funny
a night like tonight, I'm staying out here.
And it's funny how, even when you were down visiting in Ybor, they did the same thing, even with limited space, when they were just free range, out in the street. They would literally, you can tell a story if you want.
Well, right. We were sitting at a hookah bar.
Yeah.
And it got to be about this time of night. And I said, let's just stay here.
Yeah. And see what happens.
I said, because I see a rooster over there. And I see a couple of hens walking around the street.
Right.
I said, they won't be walking around on the street in anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour.
Right.
And again, I'm going to just remind everyone, remember, sunset and sunrise change every single day.
Right.
So sure enough, we sat there and watched, and pretty soon the rooster went up in the tree and started complaining, ladies, it's time.
Yeah.
And slowly the girls bumped up.
Yeah, and they used cars in the area on the side of the road.
Yeah,
as a way
that
to
was
boost
really
the
funny
tree.
to me that they had figured out, here's how we get into the tree.
Yeah.
And I said, because there was also there must have been some back way to get up too.
Yeah, there was a side out, like when we looked at it further, there was a side alley there that had some dumpsters on it that seemed to go up to a smaller, like, first floor roof. So they were able to kind of hop and do a little bit of flight, because they're not completely flightless, right?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, like they can.
In fact, there you go. If you're gonna get chickens,
yeah,
you're like, oh, they're flightless birds. I can have a small, low place for them to roam around.
Yeah,
absolutely. They can fly / jump. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it surprised you today. 4, 5 feet.
Yeah. Yeah. They can't quite get on top of that garage.
Nope.
Right? That's a little too high.
Yeah.
But if you've got places where they can make.
Oh, if they could make step, if they could progressive, for sure.
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
And just like anything else in species, the babies can do things larger or long, whatever.
Yeah.
Longer, whatever. And then they kind of seem to lose that ability a little bit as they age. However, General Sow is my biggest flyer, to the point where I've thought about clipping her wings.
Really?
But the reason I won't is because I want her to be able to defend herself or get away
from a
if
predator
she
or
would
something.
need to. Yeah.
Yeah. And knowing that you've got the potential of a
we have
hawks and stuff.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
chicken hawk. I'm a chicken hawk.
But that's why you're incorporating some other birds into the mix right now, right?
Well, I think because we were sitting here, it's the crows. I had seen or read or heard or whatever that if you slowly befriend a murder of crows, they will then protect your flock. They will alert the girls. And let me tell you, that is real. Yeah. The babies, what was it, like a month ago?
Yeah.
The babies were not even free ranging. They were just out in the run. And I was sitting out enjoying a cup of coffee in the morning, and all of a sudden, all 4 of them just bolted for the coop. What the hell? I look up, and behind me, and there was a hawk, but way up, like not within striking distance.
Yeah.
But they noticed that shadow or that silhouette or whatever, and they were gone.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy.
Oh, they're getting along a little better.
What's going on? Oh, they're not?
Because General Sow and someone, I can't see who that quite is, they were actually walking side by side versus, yeah.
A little acceptance, maybe. Maybe. We'll see. Well, I enjoyed talking to you today about Suburban Coop, Wisconsin. I am anticipating some wonderful things here, especially with the addition of some newer technology, additional cameras. The fact that you'll be able to interact on the Twitch stream will be wonderful. That's evolving, obviously. But also kind of seeing some of those daily updates. I like those updates too. I like those inspiring things. I think a reinvigoration of that would be awesome.
I also am very much looking forward to my gutters and downspouts working properly.
It's all par for the course, I guess. Well, it was lovely speaking to you today, Peggy, and we look forward to watching you on Suburban Coop, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
What an awesome experience it was to go up to Wisconsin and experience Suburban Coop in the flesh with Peggy. Oh, what an awesome time we had, and a great discussion, and going back and editing this and listening to it again just reminded me how cool it is and what cool things we're doing with that. Just fantastic. And again, we're shifting to YouTube just because we're looking to have some more episodic things going on rather than just live streams. In addition to the live stream, we're going to have some actual programs, some regular scheduled things like Chicken Catch a Story, where we do something like once a week, once every other week, that kind of thing. The way you can follow us on there is at Suburban Coop. So if you type that into the search engine of YouTube, which I think right now is the second largest search engine on the internet, which is pretty neat. But anyway, if you do that on YouTube, you can find the show, but I'll also include it in the Podbean notes as well. I think they transfer to all the podcasting platforms and stuff too. But you can always reach out to me at timkuligfreemusic@gmail.com if you have any questions about Suburban Coop. And if you ever want to get in touch with Peggy, you can find her online on Facebook. You've got a Facebook page called Suburban Coop Wisconsin that you can link to and check out everything we're doing. Thank you everybody again for listening to the podcast this week. 10th episode. We are now in double digits. Very excited about this, and excited to throw in a little twist to the format with a live interview. Well, semi-live. It was alive at the time. Hope you enjoyed it, and can't wait to talk to you guys next week. Thanks for checking out the Tim Kulig Free Music Podcast, and see you soon.